As was the case in 2013, Sead Causevic from Vancouver, Canada, is the only Canadian entry in the 2014 Pikes Peak International Hillclimb. Last year he competed in a Scion FR-S prepared by Shift Autosport in Burnaby, Canada, and this year the same team has put together a Mark V Jetta for Pikes Peak. This is the first event for the Jetta and a really good shakedown, as it's one of the toughest races in the world. Pikes Peak Hillclimb ranks up there with the world's most prestigious races, but is accessible to grassroots teams who are willing to make the commitment to race here. The track is 12.42 miles, or 20 kilometers, over 156 turns, climbing nearly 5,000 feet to an elevation of 14,110 feet at the summit. Approximately 150 teams race here every year, and this is the 92nd running of the Pikes Peak Hillclimb. We left Vancouver on Saturday morning and drove down to Emmett, Oregon, which took about 15 hours, for the freeze-out hill climb, which was taking place on the next day, on the Sunday. The trip went without a hitch, and, well, we had a hitch, but no problems, unlike last year where we had some issues with the truck. So Sead is going to give you a few words about the hill climb.
After a full day of driving, we decided to stop at the freeze-out hill climb in Idaho for a little shakedown event. It was going to be the first time I'd driven the car in any real anger, so I was really excited. So here I am getting prepared for the first run. Got the course fairly memorized in the very little time that we had to check it out. And really the heart rate's just pumping. I can't wait to drive this car, and you know, it's been months of anticipation. And here we go. The car itself drove really well, even on that first run. I had to get used to the paddle shifters, you know, being a hardcore manual shifting race car guy. But overall, it was pretty solid. You know, I'd take the time to review what I'd done wrong and how the car felt between the runs and make a new plan for the new run. And, you know, give it all I got for every run that came and get the most out of it.
After the hill climb on Sunday, we drove the rest of the day and all night to get to Tech on Monday morning in Colorado Springs. It's a great place to check out all the vehicles that are competing and say hi to some of the drivers and riders. There was a lot of interest in the Jetta. It was a very popular car there. People loved the graphics and the side exit exhaust. Let's take a ride with Sead as he attacks the course on one of the practice days.
Well, it wouldn't be racing if everything went perfectly. After that first day of practice, we actually ended up with a blown motor. If you know what a spun rod bearing is, well, it's basically a full motor rebuild. Luckily, we had some great friends in Denver at Blue Water Performance. We were able to head there and use their shop hoist and tools to rebuild a new motor. It did take quite a while. There's a lot of work involved, pulling the motor and tranny out and, you know, getting new parts in there, but we pulled it off. We only missed 1 day of practice, or actually it was a qualifying day, so it was pretty key. But really, we finished up at about midnight in Denver and basically drove straight to Pikes Peak and went to third day of practice and lined up, and hope it all went great. After a very challenging practice week, we decided to head up to the top at 14,000 feet, or 4.3 kilometers up, just to get acclimatized to the air one more time and take some mandatory beauty shots. The scenery is just absolutely unbelievable up there, and the Jetta looked great. So one of the coolest things about Pikes Peak and this race car, this great looking race car, is just how much attention it gets. We just talked to a very cute family that are now our race fans that had a lot of questions to ask.
This is awesome.
You gotta reconnect the wheel.
Oh.
Alright, let me put the steering wheel on for you, and then you feel like a real race driver.
Okay.
There
This
you go.
is awesome. Oh. Wow.
That is cool.
I know, this is like the best.
Oh, thank you. A good luck hug, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you can hear that.
Nice to meet you. We are here at Colorado Springs Fan Fest on our day off after the Pikes Peak practice runs, and then leading into the race on Sunday. So we've got a big party here. All the competitor cars are out on display. About 35 to 40,000 people come out, and they put on a really good show. And final answer, boobs or bums?
I used to be bums,
Yeah.
but
Switching it
my
up a little.
current girlfriend has a nice rack.
So why do you do Pikes Peak? Is it for the girls, for the adrenaline, or for the money?
There's no money in it. I already got a girl. And I really don't get adrenaline from it.
You're stuck.
Yeah, we're a little stuck. A 4x4 truck with a big trailer, those things don't usually get stuck, but we're high-centered on a stump. And we're getting help. Can't get it off even in 4 low.
What are you doing?
Just making some notes. Going over all the turns in my head, because so many are similar and you gotta attack them differently. Some open, some decrease. And you don't want to think it's an opening turn when it's decreasing. Well, here we are, Sunday morning, race day. We've lined up. We had to start a little bit further back because we missed the qualifying day when we were doing some engine repairs. But I can't tell you how excited I am. I mean, it's all about driving this road to the max. Car is as ready as she's going to be. It's pretty cool to debut a new car at Pikes Peak and shake it down here because this is the most extreme environment. Anyways, thanks for following, and we're off in about 5 minutes. Just getting ready for an event like this is a challenge in itself. There are so many mental obstacles that you have to work through to really remember the run and drive the way you want to. Not only is it at a really high altitude, but the road is actually really challenging and really scary, and there's no room for runoff. So you got to keep focused, stay thinking about what you want to do, not what might happen, and let it go. The Pikes Peak Highway is truly an amazing road to drive. There's so many challenging elements, and even changes from year to year how the road reacts to the cold winter. So you got to adjust your line for the bumps, for debris on the road, for new pavement. But truly, it's a driver's dream. And if you ever get a chance to go see the road and drive it, you really should. apart from a couple small mental mistakes that I'd made, the run was actually going pretty well. Because of the challenges we had during the week, we decided that the goal is now completion instead of competition. We still had to drive at a pretty good pace and be happy with the drive. As you're approaching the top, it's hard to stay focused. You know, it's been a long, strenuous time at a very high heart rate, but you know, as you're getting to the top, you're getting more and more excited. Still got to stay sharp right up until you see the finish man waving that gorgeous checkered flag. Getting to the top of Pikes Peak is always an emotional experience. You know, this was the first event for the car, and actually we ended up doing quite well with a sub 12-minute time, beating our last time by almost a minute and a half. The cool thing is, this is just the beginning for this car. Since we're now a privateer entry, we can really do whatever events we want, and you can look forward to a summer full of time attack events that myself and my friend teammate Richard Bassford will be doing. Please stay tuned to all our channels, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and let us know what kind of content you want. We would really like to say thanks to everybody that had supported us. Obviously, number one, the fans. Whether you were there on Race Day, Fan Fest, online, following us on the forums, Facebook, Instagram, it really doesn't matter. Thank you for your support. And the more you support us, the more we can do really cool stuff like this and show you what actually happens. On the other hand, you know, there's a lot of sponsors and people that were involved in the build and pushing to get to this wonderful place and this amazing race. Firstly, the guys at Shift Autosport that had put so many hours into preparing this car with us. And then working through our sponsor partnerships here, you know, we have Borg Warner that supplied the turbocharger, Blitzgear that did these really cool graphics, Whiteline and Vorschlag that helped us set up this Jetta into quite a precise low front wheel drive machine, along with Wavetrack, who makes amazing diffs to get that power to the ground. SSB provided the transmission parts to really make it bulletproof. Forge Star wheels wrapped with Toyo tires were a great setup for the event. The car was tuned with Eurodyne software for both the motor and the DSG transmission. We were using StopTech brakes, which were absolutely phenomenal regardless of what condition we were facing. Fast Track Autobody does all our paint work. And if it wasn't for the guys at Blue Water Performance, we really would have been dead in the water as far as the engine rebuild goes. Really thanks a lot to Denim Videography and Powered by Allo for all the video work they've been doing, as well as all our other sponsors like Integrated Engineering, HPFPupgrade.com, Octuning, H&R, Turbocharger.net, Evo Recyclers, Gear-Based Cameras, and Driver's Edge. Everybody played a great part to make this event a success.